Hi guys, Shannon here from Twisted Mind by Seifer, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tortilla, a pair of tortilla earrings with polymer clay. So what you will be needing is, I use white Primo, some pastel colors, a round cutter that's about 1 1/4, some jump rings, any size really that you want. It all depends on how far you want them to dangle, some earring hooks, a little hole poker dealer that I can't remember the name of, a paintbrush, a blade, and this or a toothbrush will work too. All right, let's get at it. Okay, so here we have a piece of white Primo polymer clay that I have rolled out on thickest setting of my pasta machine, with the thickest setting being, it starts at 0. So that's what I rolled it out to, was a 0. Excuse the lovely decor here, but I have some stuff in the background and that could be considered copyright trademark, and I didn't want to have an issue with that. So you're going to, like I said, you're going to roll out your piece of white clay to the thickest setting. Mine happens to be 0. You're going to take your cutter. I also apologize for the angle. I'm not really set up to do overhead yet, but I will be soon. Okay, so you're going to be cutting out 2 round pieces with your cutter. Okay, so now that we have our 2 pieces cut out, we're going to take this or our toothbrush, and we're going to pat on here to get some texture. Now, I'm not one for like total matchy perfection, if you know what I mean. I mean, I know they're earrings. Obviously, they have to match. But, I mean, we're talking tortillas, okay? And I don't know. I think a little bit of misshapenness adds to it, okay? So once you've done that, you're going to take your blade and you're going to scoop it up like this, both sides. See the texture? And then we're going to flip it over, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, you don't want to, you know, like really pound on it and squish it, but a little bit is okay. All right, so again, pick it up like this. Now, it's possible that we're going to lose some texture on each side when we go with the pastels to color in. But like I said, this isn't about perfection, and it'll work out fine. Trust me. Let me get that little spot there. All right, there we go. All textured. Okay, now I'm going to use the pastels to give it some shading so it looks more like a tortilla. So I forgot. I always forget to include these when I'm showing you about anything, that the little X-Acto knives or whatever you want to call them, because to me it's just a staple. I always have it there. So yes, you're going to want one of these, and you're going to lightly, like this, because you don't want big chunks. You lightly go like this with that color, which is like a, I don't know, it's like a yellowish, but it's like a tan, I guess, kind of. Yeah, a tan. And then this one, which is just a darker brown. And we'll do him over here. All right. Just like I said, real lightly, because you don't want chunks. You want it to be, you know, pretty fine. And here they are together, so you can see the difference. Oh, word of advice: diaper wipes are your best friend when you're working with clay, especially if you're doing anything where you're going to be touching a color like a paint, a mica, or pastels, anything like that that could leave, like, you know, some sort of a mark. You're going to want a baby wipe to clean your hands off in between. Okay, so we're just going to take a little bit of the lighter color. That's what we're going to do. And make like tiny, well, not tiny, but dots on here like this. come on now. Oop. The joys of white clay. And come on like this. And like I said, this isn't about perfection. The dots don't have to be in the exact same place. You know, they don't have to look the exact same way. It's all about creating. Okay, so here we go. We're going to lift it up. We're going to flip it over. Not yet. We're going to flip that one over. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, when we're putting on the pastels, we're not pushing really hard, so we're not losing a whole lot of the texture that we put on the back. But even if we do, if you're doing this and you decide, oh no, you know, I'm losing texture, you can put it on a piece of while you're doing this, you can put it on a piece of, well, that's what you can put it on a piece of a piece of sandpaper, you know, or anything else that has a texture that, you know, you would like. But I'm not going to worry about that today because it looks like it's going to do just fine the way it is. All right, now we're going to add the darker color right in the middle and a little off to the side of where you did the original color, the original yellow. This way it gives it, I think it gives it more of a tortilla look. And then you're going to flip it over. If I can do it, there we go. Do it on the side. And you're going to do it on both sides. Again, in the middle, kind of off to the side or the bottom or the top. You know, again, not a perfection. We're not coloring in the yellow pastel mark we made. We're just enhancing what it looks like. Okay. So, now, we've done that. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to lightly, very lightly rub it around so it gets more of a tortilla look, more of a, you know, I don't know if you've ever cooked tortillas or made them by hand, but they end up kind of like with a little brownish tint to them. So just like this on both sides. Again, this isn't, you know, you don't have to be perfect. Let's see. I don't know if you can really see that. It turned out really good, huh? Looks like a tortilla. Okay, so now to add our hole so we can put our jump rings in later. You take this little guy and figure out where you want the top of your earring to be. You're going to poke it in there like that. Gently pull it out. Try not to misshapen it at all if you can. Do the same to this side. Oop. And then pull it out. Okay, now we're all ready to pick it up. I have a smaller ceramic towel right here that I'm going to put this on real quick. And actually, let me rephrase that. Whoop, I forgot one thing. You don't have to do this. This is like deli paper that I got somewhere years ago. I couldn't even tell you where I got it. Probably Amazon. And what this does, when you bake something directly on ceramic tile, it'll get really shiny on the part that's on the bottom. And even though I am going to be glazing these, I really don't want that look. So I'm going to go ahead and put this behind there, and it gives it a cushion. You can use computer paper too. You can also use like what I call a bead nest, which I don't have one right here to show you. You know, some people even use like cornstarch or salt to set it in. But this is what I use for stuff like this. Now, sometimes it's hard to get to sit flat because of that. But on something like this, that's okay. Because, again, I'm not really worried about like cleaning up the edges or smoothing everything out, because it's a tortilla, and tortillas are not, you know, sometimes they aren't exactly the same as the next one in the package. Okay, so we're going to pop this into our oven at 275. Usually I bake for an hour, but because these are pretty thin, I'm going to do 275 for about 35 to 40 minutes. And we'll be back. Okay, so they are out of the oven. They are completely cooled. And now we're going to assemble them. Like I said earlier, you can use whatever size jump rings really that you want. It all depends on, you know, how you want it to look. Whoops. I had it wrong. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know, to open jump rings, you do it like this. You don't just spread them apart. You open them like that. See how that is? Flip it through there. Flip it through there. And all done. Thanks for that one. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one off camera, because no sense in wasting more time than we need to. Okay, everything has, all the jump rings have been put on. And you're going to take your ear wire, and you're going to pry it open like that. Lift it up that way. Then take your tortilla earring, put it on there, close it back up. Do the same with the other one. Let me see here. Make sure I have the right part facing front that I want facing front, and then close it up. And there you go. You have little tortilla earrings. Now, because I used pastels on them, I am going to, I wish I could get these to show up better. I am going to use a glaze. Now, I usually don't use this on a lot of stuff, but on things like this, I do. Usually I use matte finish on my tortillas, but I didn't have any of that, so I'm going to use this and brush it on real quick. And then I'm going to hang them from my little earring holder that somebody near and dear to me gave me once. Okay, now, so I transferred this to a nail polish bottle that I bought a whole bunch of them off Amazon a while ago, because you want a soft brush when you're glazing things, or you're going to get huge brush strokes that look ugly. And these on the bottles I bought are super, super soft. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you what I'm talking about here. Oop, I'm getting camera. Okay, you don't want to put it on too thick, because you don't want big old white streaks, okay? If you see big white streaks, then you didn't put it on right. Put on too much. So there we go, just like that. Okay, then I just go along the edges. Oops, a little bit of a glob there. Go along the edges. And then, of course, flip it over. Do the same thing. Make sure that you're covering everything, including up here by the rings. And then just let it dry. Hang it somewhere. Don't drop it like I sometimes do. There you go. And let it dry. And that's it. That is how I make my tortilla earrings. Quick, easy, fun. They're a big hit, believe it or not. People really super, super like. Now, how did I do that? Oh, there we go. People super, super, super like them. I saw a lot of them online. So that's it. Thanks for joining me on this, my first tutorial. If you like it, hit the like button, hit subscribe to my channel to see more. I will be doing a lot more tutorials on heat sublimation items coming up here in the very, very near future. So if you want to be updated on that, hit like, subscribe, and all that jazz. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. See you later.